guys, welcome. I am the Outdoor Dude. This is my shop. It's pretty humble, it's small, just a little pole barn that my wife and I put together. I've assembled a blacksmith shop in here. I've got a little machine shop. I've got woodworking tools. Just a quick idea of things that I do, things that I am into. I like to spend a lot of time out here if I'm not out fishing or in the woods. Got a nice little setup going here. If you see it and it's not a machine, I made it, and even some of the machines I made. For example, see those two 72 by 2 belt grinders back there? I made both of those. My tire hammer here is a Clay Spencer tire hammer. I got the plans off the internet and paid for them. Some help of some friends and some sourcing of materials. We were able to put that together. You'll see that in use at some point. Back here is my grinding sanding station. I've got some different grinders, different sanders. That little performance PT tool drill press that I have there is probably one of the oldest machines I have in my shop. I bought that in, I believe it was 2001, and it's still running strong. It's got some issues like the Jacob's chuck here, not exactly the best bearings, but I've tried to get into it to figure out how to change those bearings out, and I still haven't figured out how to get into it. Of course, cat house is up there. This is a pole barn after all, so we've got cats that sleep out here. That is by far my favorite belt grinder to use right there. That is my go-to belt grinder, and this was the first one that I ever built here. It was out of an old treadmill that was given to me. I put it together. It works great. It just doesn't have the speed that I need to do most of the operations that I have. All right. Back here you'll see files, stuff hanging on the wall. I've got a lot of infrastructure things to do out here. But you see my little 2-burner propane forge that I made. That's the first thing that I made that got me into this whole aspect of shop. And of course my coal forge. It is a side draft forge. I also got these plans off the internet. Kind of customized it to my liking. The stack there, the chimney stack for it, used to be part of an old shed. That is some really thick shed siding. I'm wanting to say it is 14 gauge steel, and I have not had any issues with it. I've checked temperature and everything up there at the ceiling, and I have not had any issues with temperature getting too hot up there. This forge works really well. Most all of those tongs there, hammers here I made. You can see that some are way better than others. That's a little jig for a project that is going to be coming up in an upcoming video. All right, moving back. Also my little fab table. Not great. What you're seeing there on the table now is a project I have going for my wife. She is into quilting. She has a long arm quilting machine, and she needs some light over top of that so she can see better. So I am currently in the process of making a nice light that spans across the 10-foot of her long arm quilting machine. Back here, just ideas, things that I've seen on YouTube and the internet. This is a portable bandsaw that I bought off the internet, off Facebook Marketplace, from a guy. The bearings were really bad on it. I changed out all the bearings and it runs like a champ now. I've got it hooked to a switch from an old router table that I had that the table just rotted and fell apart from moisture. It was out in an old tool shed. This little Inco bandsaw, 4x6 bandsaw, I've done a lot of little modifications to this that has just helped tremendously. This thing cuts within 2/1000ths of being square on a 4-foot or a 4-inch surface, 4-inch surface. That's the biggest I've ever cut on here, and it was within 2/1000ths of being square in both directions. That's the original motor that came on it, I believe, but the motor mount was just, it's like one of those pressed steel motor mounts, and I had to make a new motor mount. That one wasn't doing the job. I adjusted the pulleys to make it 3-speed. When I got it, it was just a 2-speed, had 2-speed pulleys on there, and I made 3. That center speed is about 600 surface feet per minute, so I leave it about there. And it's nice and straight, pulls beautifully. One of the best modifications that I made on here is I made this. I got the plans or the idea from a guy on YouTube, and his name is slipping my mind right now, but this is just a hydraulic strut that controls the speed of the fall and keeps it from going anywhere. You can see it's sitting perfectly still. I've got the valve closed. When I open it up just a little bit, you can see that it comes down slow, or I can make it come down fast. These are some of the modifications that I've made. I had to turn a new handle for it. The handle that was on the vice clamp was broken. Had an extender that I made. I made this little handle here. And back here, I've got an old Montgomery Ward scroll saw that it sat set up for probably 10 years, and in that 10 years I used it once. So now it's sitting there in that bucket. It's not very accurate. Its bearings are worn out on it as well. The motor's really weak. Of course, paint cabinet there. Got a little Hobart welder. Love that welder. Got a little stand. That's for long pieces on my bandsaw there. These are a couple of projects that I just finished. I'm a poor person. You'd say abject poverty, but you know, I'm really not that poor. Both my wife and I are teachers at the local school district here. I'm an elementary teacher. She's a high school teacher for special needs students. So I really wanted some Fireball squares, but I can't afford the $105. You know, we've got family to feed, and that's a lot of money. So I have the know-how, so I made my own. I've got 2 big ones, and then inside here is a 6-inch. I haven't used the 6-inch yet. I just finished it up the other day. Of course, my propane heater and propane to feed it. This is a very airy shop. I'm not worried about fumes, things like that in here. Just because if you look at the doors, you can see daylight coming through there. It's a pole barn. All right, coming on in here. Now I've got this sheet of plastic up because of moisture. Now this, where we're going in right now, this was just a 10 by 14 shed that I first built when we bought this property back in 2009. Bought this property and built a shed because we needed a place to store some of our stuff while our house was being built, and it has since become my machine room. And because it's a little more climate controlled, you see I've got an air conditioner heater right there. I've got my machines in here. Now I keep them well oiled. Got a little mini mill, and I've got little Grizzly 0765 lathe. It's a good starter lathe. I am looking for a little bigger. I don't want too much bigger. This one, I've outgrown it. It's a great beginner lathe, but I've outgrown it. And I'm ready for an upgrade. This is a good beginner lathe, but it just doesn't have the accuracy that I look for. Same with this mill. This was a really good beginner mill. I don't have room for a bigger mill. I'd like maybe Bridgeport knee mill, something like that. But this one, it gets me within a thousandth, sometimes within a half a thousandth. I'm really careful with it. It comes with DRO. Also bought this from Grizzly. They are very well maintained. I try to clean up my mess every single time I use them. Of course, I'm addicted to Kennedy toolboxes, and I look in yard sales, things like that. I've got these two boxes here. This one here was from an estate sale and came with a few really neat tools, not tools that I would personally use very often, but you know, they're good tools just the same. One of the things that it came with that I still am trying to figure out what the heck it is, pardon the camera fumbling here, is, you know, this is an aluminum feeler gauge of some sort, but I don't know what it would be for. I think this might be handmade. Maybe somebody made this. And it just came with some neat little tools in here. Of course, you know, my 1, 2, 3 blocks. This is a shop made. I made this V block. Of course, I made the little clamp that goes with it. Clamp could definitely be a lot better. You can tell it's homemade, but it works well. And then, of course, my little 1, 2, 3 block that I made that is 1/2 inch. Having a mini mill, this little mini 1, 2, 3 block comes in really handy. Most of my hand tools are imports. I do have some better quality tools up here. I've got a nice, when I bought this box right here, it came with this micrometer, 0 to 1 micrometer. It is an Etalon. That's a Swedish company. It is on the money, perfect, works fantastic. Came with this, I don't even know how to say that word, the Vasa dial indicator. That dial indicator has never been used. That plastic is still sealed around it. I'm assuming that it's accurate, but I don't think that that thing has ever been taken out of its plastic. And I will be testing it at some point. Of course, my safety glasses. And like I said, most of my hand tools that I have are import quality. This is one of the things that came with this green Kennedy box, is this planer gauge. I got a really good deal on the box. I paid $40 for it. It came with a few tools, came with this planer gauge. This is a Starrett planer gauge. It is missing the top piece that goes right here. This little tool here, this is an Etalon bevel protractor that came with this box. It's in perfect condition. That thing is just smooth and beautiful. Excellent condition there. Of course, my little Michitoyo angle gauge there, it works good. This is my shop, and I'm hoping to show you guys some fantastic videos. I am into making just about anything that you can use. If I need it, I'm going to try to make it first. The idea behind my channel is I am an outdoor dude. I would rather be out here in my shop or out at the lake on my boat fishing, or maybe out at the campsite camping or out hunting. I am a hunter of deer for the most part, and we feed our family. Yeah, I like a big rack buck, but that is not the reason I go hunting. There's a little my humble abode here. Nice little house there, and see my beautiful German Shepherd laying up there on the porch. Her name is Shelby. You'll be seeing a lot of her. And welcome to my channel, guys. I love what I do, and I hope that you love watching me do what I do. Thanks for watching.